I don't care if you've been trying to see the Titanic and then dying all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the Vista. Smoke me on film with all the dankers and dank shit on my left. Oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
I have arisen from the Lazarus pit. Now I must find the detective.
All right. Engineering on the ones and twos, choking people out on the threes and fours, Chronos.
Hey, on Father's Day, you gotta, channel your inner bandit. That's all I'm saying. I gotta represent the rad dad. Y'all gotta watch Bluey if you got kids.
There you go. Last and not least,
Rad dad for rad dude. Leave it to Batman to explain the multiverse with a bowl of fucking spaghetti, and it make all kind of sense.
Oh shit!
We'll get into that later.
yes. Oh, we got a jam-packed show this week. I can guarantee fucking that. Kronos, start us off with some kind of statistical analysis.
All right, listener of the week would be Terry Rankin 2, not to be confused with Terry Rankin 1 or just Terry Rankin. I'm just saying. You might have some clones out there. There can only be one Terry Rankin. Take care of business.
Is it Terry with an I or with a Y?
It's with a Y.
All right.
Yeah. You want to know his address too?
I do.
Well,
What's the social security number? Let me know. All right. Well, I can't see old ninja. Maybe he's.
You know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's eating a fucking sandwich.
We'll give him a minute. And nobody's in the chat just yet. You're there?
Yeah, what you want, Prodigy?
You got fucking mustard and mayo nut stains on your motherfucking lips and shit. What the fuck, man?
Incorrect. It's a unique sauce.
Unique sauce.
Unique nut sauce. All right.
Not nut sauce. What you got questions or something?
Look, are you gonna pour out some type of beverage
No.
that you're not guzzling down with your motherfucking sandwich?
No, not this one.
He's just like fucking. All right.
No, I mean y'all covered everything. I think there's one y'all skipped or whatever. But other than
that person gonna get skipped again. Fuck it, we back up in here. All right.
Back at it one more time.
R.I.P. You person.
Yes, exactly.
All of you who died.
We got a whole ass of fucking shit. It feels like this was a jam fucking packed week. God damn it!
This is like a meme week. It's got the meme. I already know what the meme of this month is gonna be.
What's that?
It's got to be the goddamn submarine. The quotes, air quotes, submarine.
Mm-hmm.
The submarine that you can't really escape from.
What were these rich fucks doing? They were trying to see the fucking Titanic. Was that what they?
Yeah, they decided
paid for.
They decided to.
They're trying to go save Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah, Blue, you're frozen. Your face is frozen. I just want you to let it go. Yeah. By the way, I'm just saying. Okay, you gotta unfreeze yourself. Yeah, they decided to. What was the name of the vessel? I think it's called the Titan, right? Titan is the name of the vessel. And they paid, I think it was like $200,000 or something like that, to go on an expedition to go see the Titanic. And yeah, apparently they are lost at sea at this point. I think at this point they might have passed away. I don't want to speak too ill of the dead, but I'm kind of going to, only because like the risks they took that I've read about and seen, like how you controlled this contraption was insane. You controlled this submersible vehicle by a goddamn Logitech PlayStation controller. That's how you controlled it. Like, what the fuck? Full fucking stop. If I'm gonna go, however many leagues under the sea where the water's gonna literally fucking crush me, I don't want to control it with a PlayStation controller, much less a Logitech PlayStation controller. I'm just saying, I love Logitech, but I'd much rather have my DualSense controller. I don't know why they didn't have manual controls for that shit. I mean, if my life is literally in danger, I would prefer to have manual controls over something that's that dangerous. Go ahead.
Here's my thing. If you're gonna do this shit, because James Cameron does this shit on a fucking Tuesday, like he does this shit all the time.
He's a professional.
Go in a James Cameron level fucking sub. Don't go into janky shit.
Yeah. I mean, like, he had like a legit, like, this thing could probably survive a nuclear attack sub.
Yeah.
And this thing was like a tin can. It was like fiberglass or something like that. I'm just like, bruh.
What makes it even worse is that, so, like, even if, like, say that the sub did surface, like, they can't get out. Like, it's bolted with 16 fucking giant bolts on the outside that has to be undone from the outside, and there's no way for them to get out. So they're basically sitting in a goddamn fucking bubble sardine can, waiting for time.
What the fuck? That you paid $250,000 to die in.
Right.
Like, what
That's
the fuck?
Yeah, and
Wow.
what I don't like is that they're getting so much press. Obviously, they're getting more from us, but there was a refugee immigrant boat that capsized off of, I think it was like, I want to say it was Italy.
Mm-hmm.
800 people got
Yep.
not all of them were lost, but over 100 people were lost, and that gets hardly any airplay at all. But meanwhile, you get this this submarine, in air quotes again, with 5 people with I want to say worse words because I'm trying to respect people. They had unfortunate circumstances. They're getting all this fucking airplay, and you have people coming on now talking about how it wasn't safe, and now they're calling these people adventurers. They're not fucking adventurers. They're rich assholes that have enough money to go, take toys and go do shit. They're not adventurers. When they go out camping, they probably go out in a yurt or some shit like that. They're not fucking, they're not even in a regular tent. They're probably out there sipping champagne and shit, or shooting rhinos from fucking helicopters with 50 cal machine guns. These are not adventurers. They're just wealthy people that have money to spare to just waste. And unfortunately, this is probably going to cost their life, and that's fucking sad.
Well, can I just say this too? This completely destroys the very American narrative you always hear of: if you're rich, you're brilliant. No, you're fucking not.
You just have
Not
money.
necessarily.
Yeah.
You're rich means you have money. Period. It doesn't say anything about your intelligence, doesn't say anything about your work ethic, doesn't say anything about your character, none of that shit. And I'm not necessarily saying these folks were bad people per se, but they made some foolish ass decisions. Let's be fucking legit.
I mean, if you put my life in danger, it's like this PlayStation Logitech controller is gonna. This is you're on the way out. This is up and down, left, right. Like there's no economic code either.
What if the goddamn battery's down on that goddamn thing? Because it was wireless. It wasn't like plugged in even. So
what if it just disconnected? Like what if it didn't like sync up correctly? Like there's so much shit that can go wrong with just Bluetooth.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. Like we needed some manual controls for that shit, or some kind of backup controls. But I guess not.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to.
Does it even have windows? Was it just like fucking just?
There's one window.
Oh,
There's one window or 2 windows, but they're 2.5 miles down underwater.
Yeah, they even make it there. I heard.
Well,
Did
they're
they
going to make it down eventually.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately. So,
Yeah, watch it be. James Cameron is the one that goes recover the submersible.
No.
That'd be crazy.
Because it takes time to get all that shit. Like you have to it's not like you can just fly that shit there. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
No, I mean over time. I didn't say he was going to save
Oh,
it.
eventually,
He's
yeah.
gonna recover the submersible.
And he's gonna turn into a movie called it the Titan. The Titan, the Rescue of Titan.
Voyage of the Titan.
God damn that. Yeah. That it's wild. It's still going on. It's not like they're gonna recover the bodies tomorrow, but it's pretty much a wrap.
Yeah, that's like a pretty shitty way to die. Like, I mean, hopefully they're just gonna go to sleep. But I'd imagine. So this thing is like super small, right? So it's supposed to be like a day trip, and there's no bathrooms in there. Like, and it's like I think it's like 4 or 5 people in like this really enclosed space.
Yes, 5 people.
It's 5 people,
Yeah.
and there is a bathroom.
There is
I
a
guess
bathroom?
yeah, there's a bathroom. Did you watch the little I don't know if it was Discovery or Neo Geo, whatever. They show there's a bathroom on there, but you're shitting and pissing in front of everybody. You don't have a private room.
Okay, well, I mean, the way they're gonna die. I mean, they're gonna go to sleep, but it's shitty knowing that you did this to yourself, and there's literally no way out.
That's if they run out of oxygen. That's the way to die. There's also a theory that the capsule could have imploded, which is a really shitty way to die. That's like instant fucking death. There's a story that they were talking about on Stuff You Should Know, where there was a space. No, it's not a space station, but a submergible station that one of the submarines were coming to dock, and the suction wasn't 100% connected. So when they opened up the capsule, the whole entire thing lost pressure and just pretty much everybody that was inside got sucked out just instantly. Like you would like it happened so fast. There's no way that the person even knew that they were dead. Like they were just everything just stopped for them. But it's fucking crazy. Yeah. So that, like if something like that happened to them, like yeah, they're definitely just either bobbing around in the middle of the water, sinking to the bottom, or bobbing somewhere up on the top in a crushed sardine can.
Whew,
If you watch the movie Interstellar, Matt Damon, this happens to Matt Damon's character. He doesn't link up the airlock correctly and tries to dock, and then he gets sucked out, blowing off the whole fucking.
Yeah, but he's got a suit on, so he was okay.
Well, for a while, he's gonna run out of oxygen eventually.
Yeah, man. All bad. All bad.
Yeah.
But we will fucking see.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
It sucks.
Y'all want to stay with?
The submarine looks like a fleshlight.
It does. It does.
Well, they did get fucked, so there's that.
Y'all want to stay with the? I guess it's kind of on brand.
Wait.
What?
I got really quickly. So someone pointed out about this submersible. They're betting that there are no black people in the submersible.
Oh,
no.
No.
They're like, there ain't no way. There ain't no way.
I'm gonna be honest with you like this. For the most part, I mean, you got to remember, black folks were not allowed on that Titanic. You know, even the Irish were like what, on the lower tier or something. You know what I mean? So I don't see many black folks going crazy about, oh, I need to see the Titanic under the water. Like that's just not the case.
Yeah, I mean it's a shipwreck. I don't feel they need to see like I said, I think before the podcast, it's like it's a burial site to me. Like a bunch of people died there. I don't think it's cool to go down there and fuck with a grave site. I mean, I'm sure the only reason why people should be going down there is to like retrieve bodies and maybe some like personal effects by like a professional crew. But like taking your dumb ass in like a little submersible to like see the sites where like, hundreds if not thousands of people died, because of an accident. I don't know. I don't see the appeal of that down there. And it's not like they were down there like paying respects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were just going down there to be quote unquote adventurers.
100 years of that level of pressure should crush the bones to pulverize them, I would think.
I'm sure. Oh, I don't know. I'm sure they've recovered some bodies.
Have they?
They had to.
I don't know. I don't know how that goes.
But yeah, I mean, bones are pretty pretty strong. Maybe.
Yes. There's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, correct it. Somebody has to know. I was gonna stay on some adventure and shit, and I know we talked about it in the chat a little bit. I guess there's a new Sony villain-ish anti-hero movie trailer talking about Kraven.
Yeah.
Wait, what trailer are you talking about?
The Kraven trailer.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because I think that goes along. I mean, you could call that an adventure-ish movie, right? Right.
I mean,
Is it?
Go ahead.
No, is it called Kraven or is it called Kick-Ass? Fucking Quantum Leap. Because we got the same actor playing Kraven that played Kick-Ass. He also played Quicksilver. So, is Kick-Ass a Marvel franchise or is it? It's Image, huh?
I thought it was Image. Yeah, because I have some
or
it's IDW. I want to say it's IDW.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah. So I mean, this is Sony. Kind of like they did with maybe Morbius from a year or so ago. They're doing I mean, I've always thought of Kraven as a villain. Maybe in this one he's an anti-hero. I'm not sure, but it's like his origin is what it looks like. What did y'all think?
Actually, I like that. So it did have a Mobius feel to it.
You go ahead, bro.
Okay, yeah, you're like breaking up, and there we go. You're back again. So it seemed like kind of like Morbius for a little while, and then it went like super John Wick, and I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm in. Like the action was really good. I had to admit, I was like, he's tearing out throats and stabbing people and shit, and just like fucking people. I was like, all right, there's blood and gore. I was like, okay, like this has to be rated R. Like there's no way this is PG-13. So I really like this is basically the the Marvel John Wick, and I liked the action of it. I thought it was pretty cool. But the story wise and all that shit, it was like they kind of strayed away from like the character in the comics a little bit, like with the lion's blood and shit. I didn't think that was in the comics at all, and the color changing eyes, that's weird. But whatever, do you? I mean, they fucked up Spider-Man at first too, so whatever. But yeah, I like the trailer for the action alone.
Yeah, I didn't mind the action. I agree with you on the rated R. I will say on a personal note, I'm not a huge fan of the big game hunting white South African kind of aesthetic thing with his dad. It just, I don't know, it irks me, it bothers me. Don't really like it. The whole thing with the lion was kind of silly. Like a lion bites you and you almost die, unless they do some kind of interesting explanation that they didn't have in the trailer, where this lion was a mutant lion or
too. Yeah,
like drank some fucking Ninja Turtle ooze or something. But it was pretty wacky that the lion bites you and his eyes all change color.
Maybe had some vibranium in him, some of the heart-shaped herb or some shit.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, you got to tell me why this lion is so fucking special. You know, radioactive lion. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not like ready to spend my money on it, but you know, it is a thing that's happening. I wish there was more, I don't know, connection to either the Venom or Morbius or a Spider-Man or something, or MCU, something related to kind of Marvel that kind of ties it all in, because it just feels like a standalone one-off. But you know, this is only from a 1.5-minute long trailer, so they could release another trailer that makes it much more clear. Who knows?
Just a quick update on what we were talking about a few seconds ago about the Titanic. Yes, there are still bodies down there, and you can see the skeletons. So no, you didn't just crush them all to dust. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's good.
Yeah, there's still unrecovered bodies on there. So that's another reason why stay the fuck away from there. It's basically cursed. Have you not watched fucking Poltergeist?
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, the Craven trailer, I was like, oh, this looks all visceral, but I totally got Morbin time vibes, as they say out there.
It's
for the Morbius. Yeah, I mean, so far they've done what? They've done Morbius, they've done Venom, 2 Venom films, and now Craven. I guess they're trying to build the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
But I guess it's supposed to be like their Venomverse, or I guess officially it's called the Sony Spider-Verse or some bullshit.
Well, yeah,
I don't know.
I can explain that after you all talk about this trailer. Yeah.
So watching the trailer, to me, it looked like there was all this action and visceralness, but it felt aimless. Like it felt like his enemy was his dad, but then like his dad dies at one point. And so I'm like, well, then who the fuck is he fighting?
Isn't that every man's enemy is their dad? I'm just kidding.
Apparently, if you're married, your enemy is your wife. I mean, that's what they say out there. But anyway, it's just weird. And then like we get like a tease with the Rhino, I guess, of like this guy morphing into the Rhino, and I'm just like, well, then who is he fighting? Why is he going all visceral on people? Are they trying to capture him or something, or is he just going like off his rocker? I don't know. It doesn't really tell you. I'm just like, okay, I guess. So I don't know. After watching Venom 2, Venom 1, and Morbius, I don't really have high hopes for this film. So that's just my 2 cents.
Blue, did you weigh in at all, or I know you had some technical issues?
Yeah, I was having technical issues, but yeah, I watched a trailer. Like I have to agree with O Ninja. Like I watched both Venom 1 and 2, and Morbius, and yeah, I mean, like Ronald said, like it looked in the beginning, it looked like Morpheus. It's like, okay, what's going on? Like this doesn't seem like it's gonna be interesting. But then it got all John Wick. But then it got a little bit too much John Wick. I was like, okay, this is just, I don't know. I just felt like it was killing to be killing. But I guess more in the movie they'll tell you why he's doing the killing. But yeah, I mean,
they stole his puppy. I mean, is this not obvious?
they killed this
baby lion.
They killed this baby lion, thinking revenge. But I don't know. I think I'll watch it. I'll probably wait like until it comes out just to see how the reviews are. Then I'll go in because Morbius looked really good in the trailers, but when you saw it in the theaters, it's like it's kind of mediocre. And same for like Venom 1 and 2. Like those were, at least to me, I didn't think they were that great. But mainly just because they're missing the number one element. That's fucking Spider-Man. So we'll see how this works out. But my hopes are like I'm lukewarm on this. I'm on the fence. I'm standing on the fence. Can't figure out what time I'm gonna jump on.
All right, Cronus, you wanted to break down the Spidey history?
Yeah. Let me just when it comes to the Sony and Spider-Man, there's a really good podcast called what is it called? The Spider-Man Problem. It's on NPR. I think it's the Money Market, something like that. The Marketplace, something like that. Anyway, just look up the Spider-Man Problem. They break it down very well. But basically, back when Marvel was not making good movies, they sold the rights to various franchises to other studios. Sony is the one who got Spider-Man, and so when they wrote in the contract that we're going to give you the Spider-Man, franchise, but basically you have to make a film every 4 years and 9 months. If you don't, then it reverts back to Marvel, which makes sense. This is why we keep saying a Spider-Man movie every 2-3 years, and you keep getting different Spider-Man, which is kind of annoying because the people that were running the Spider-Man franchise at Sony, they thought that they didn't have enough rights. They're famously quoted by saying basically they just had the Spider people, the villains, and then Spider-Man's girlfriend, and that's all I thought that they had with Spider-Man. They thought that was like not enough, and so Kevin Feige was he had a lunch with the head woman. I forget what her name is.
Pascal, or Pascal, right? Or,
Something like that. Yeah. I want to say Patty. No, that can't be it.
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, they had lunch, and he told her that basically, look, we will make a Spider-Man movie for you. We just want 5%, but we want to get Spider-Man back into the MCU. And she threw a sandwich and got into a huge argument about it. And so,
God damn.
And there was a whole bunch of things that they were trying to spitball together of some of the wacky Spider-Man things, and they all got shot down. They were like, these characters aren't going to work. And then you got Into the Spider-Verse. Actually, no. First, you got after the negotiation with the famous sandwich throwing incident, you got the Avengers, and you got Spider-Man in the Avengers. That's what the negotiation came out of, was getting Spider-Man sort of linked into the MCU. And then Into the Spider-Verse came, and that's when Sony was like, oh, we really can just use the Spider-Man universe and make the multiverse out of Spider-Man Spider-Verse, and we can make a whole franchise off of this. We don't really need the rest of Marvel to do this. And that's why you see the highly critically acclaimed, Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, because they finally took a chance on what they thought originally was just a bunch of goofy ass characters, but they work in, context. And so that's why you're seeing the weird Sony hand. That's why you see the amount of Spider-Man movies and kind of the weirdness of Sony in the MCU, and why they're making more villains now because they're trying to get their own Spider-Man multiverse, and so it makes sense to them to kind of shoot out some of these Spider-Man villains, because hey, if you can make the Avengers work by making building up the Avengers every single movie with the heroes, why can't you do it with the villains? I think that's what they're thinking. So it's a good shot. I don't think it's going to work with the villains so much, but Into the Spider-Verse is dope. So yeah,
I mean, all of those things are facts. The only thing I'll simply say, even though I'm not saying that Venom 1 was this great movie, it made a shit ton. I mean, it made well over $800 million, and the second one did well too for being released in the pandemic. Quality wise, yeah, hey, maybe it was mid or slightly above or below, whatever. But for better or worse, the Venom movies made money, and they're making a third one. That's its own trilogy, So we will see.
Yeah. So who said Pascal?
I did.
Okay. Yes, Amy Pascal. She's the one who famously threw a sandwich because she didn't like what Kevin Feige was spitting, and I mean, it was mutually beneficial for both of them. That was their first time they made 1 billion with their Spider-Man franchise, and after that, they figured, hey, we take what Fahey learned or what we learned from Fahey, we can do it ourselves. So far, they have yet to. I guess the closest is the Venom one was the closest to making that kind of money.
Yeah.
But you can see the dramatic drop between Venom one and Venom two. Venom two did not make as much money as Venom one.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
but it still made money. Like unfortunately, like Prodigy said, I mean, I saw it. I thought it was going to be good, and then like what the trailer gave me versus what the movie gave me almost felt like two different things. So I was just like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
So,
Let me say this too. Staying on Spidey, I finally fucking saw. I know I'm late as shit. Across the Spider Verse. I enjoyed the ever loving fuck about of that. Um, I got a couple things to say, and I know you guys went deep on it a couple weeks ago. Spider Punk is the fucking man. Like, if you didn't leave that fucking theater impressed by Spider Punk, then you just weren't fucking paying attention.
No way.
That dude had Miles's back from fucking jump. And he did it in these subtle fucking ways. You just think he's some anarchist punk rock guy, and he is.
but he is. Somehow he is.
But,
That's what he is.
He is, but there was a fucking method to his goddamn madness, and he had fucking Peter's back.
He was 2 moves ahead.
Miles is back from fucking jump. I will say this, even though I still like the character, both Peter B. Parker and Gwen Stacy did Miles fucking dirty in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that as much.
I mean, I feel like they were kind of put.
There was a fucking method to his goddamn madness.
Hey, somebody's got to mute their shit.
That's me.
All right.
I was like, what the hell?
Like, he was just talking.
We went back in time. I went back in time for a second.
You
I
did.
thought somebody else was talking. Somebody else came in your room.
I was gonna say, I'm not so sure that they did him dirty. I mean, they were part of a quote unquote clandestine time or multi-dimensional time traveling entity. And Miles, he was told not to go. He went anyway. He followed Gwen Stacy through that portal when she told him to stay home.
If you have reason to believe that my father is going to die.
No, he didn't. He did not know that going into the portal. He had no idea.
No.
Yeah.
I'm talking about fucking Gwen and Peter B. Parker.
Yeah.
If you have reason to believe that my father is going to die, and you don't share said information with me, hinting, cluing at it, whatever. Now you may try to make up for it later, but we not all good.
You know what's weird? There's a very strange plot hole about that, and it's with the Spider-Man of India. Like, first, like, either he didn't know, or there's something very wrong with this, because I thought that they would all have went through this transformation before they went, to be like the multiversal Spider-Man people, because he went through that event and like nobody told him. First of all, like, he wasn't tripping at all, like after the event, and it's like they all knew, and it's like, why didn't anybody tell him? So there's like a really weird like plot hole there.
So I don't.
He may not have been on. My impression was he wasn't necessary, and I love his character too.
Yeah. So
I don't think he was on the inside information as much as at least Peter B. Parker and Gwen and Miguel.
It seemed like they all knew.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think
because Gwen tried to stop Miles from saving his girlfriend's dad because he was supposed to die. Like he was like a Nexus event.
And Spider-Man India, I don't know how he's pronounced his name Peter, or I can't pronounce his name, but he didn't know, 100% didn't know, because he tries to save him.
Yeah, he was trying to figure out who to save him.
And when they go to Miguel later on, Miguel was like, "This event was not supposed to happen. You were not supposed to be there, and that man was supposed to die." And you don't see Peter. You don't see the Spider-Man from India's face. You see him just like kind of react, but it doesn't say anything.
Yeah, to me
So
that's a serious plot hole. Like having somebody enter that sort of organization without going through like that last transformation piece. It's like that's a huge liability because like after the fact it'd be like, hey, what the fuck, you know? But if you just happen to do it and nobody was there to like save him, then it's like plausible deniability. So yeah,
maybe, but
But then again,
I think
I
it's
guess
kind of like one of those things that's like, if you do this, you know what comes with the territory. If someone close to you has to die,
but nobody would
you
make
need
that.
to.
Nobody would make that choice beforehand, though. Nobody would.
but one thing is that they didn't like really touch on is like what's India Peter Parker's like motivate because like with like regular Peter Parker, his uncle died and that was kind of his motivation, but he also lost his parents too. So maybe there's more to his character than just what we got to see. That's just not there. I mean, that would explain why there's a fucking giant hole in it. Why a giant hole showed up in the middle of the fucking
Yeah,
town. So
the
maybe
little plot hole.
maybe
That's what it was.
the literal plot hole showed up in the middle thing. But
Yeah.
but no, like even with Andrew Garfield, right? His Spider-Man, like his Gwen, dad died too. So, but I mean, he wasn't in it, so I don't know. It's interesting. I never even
No,
thought about that plot hole.
he is in it. You see him
No,
for
I mean
like
he's in it, but like he's not. They don't go into his story.
no, they're
Like
going to.
he's not physically in part of the academy or whatever it's called, the
No,
Spider
but it is one of those
Social.
stories that helps define you. Like most of those people, most of the Spider-Man, they already were Spider-Man because of their Uncle Ben or somebody similar. And then there's another because like when we know 616 Spider-Man, uh, Gwen's father dies or Gwen dies after he's already Spider-Man, and then her father dies, I think, shortly after, if I remember correctly. And then in Gwen Stacy's universe, her father dies also, but she dies after Peter's dead, and so she's already Spider Gwen, but she has a moment that defines where her dad's going to die. And I'm at this point, does Gwen know that her dad is supposed to die at some point?
I think she does because
Yep.
like I think she knows her dad is supposed to die, but then he quits being a captain. So
Yeah.
like that's another plot
Yeah.
hole right there. Like since he quit being a captain or whatever, like is that world going to implode? I mean, technically, because if he was supposed to be captain and he's supposed to die, then that's like I'm using the Loki terminology. It's a Nexus event, something that's supposed to happen. Or no, that's from If or from the Marvel If tales. But yeah, like it's a Nexus event that's supposed to happen. If it doesn't happen, then the shit starts falling apart.
It was his own choice, though. It wasn't like somebody external, did it. So
I don't know.
Well, actually, it kind of was because I mean, he learned that his daughter was Spider Gwen because of the Vulture being there from
But
another world.
Yeah, which made him quit because he was hunting her for at least a year or more. And when you get the revelation that this most wanted villain lives right next to you, is your own flesh and blood, that does
outside the wall in your apartment.
Yeah, that does something to you. So he decided to quit. And then when she realizes that he quit, she does mention that he's not supposed to, but I'm like, does she know that he's supposed to die, or did they not tell her?
it just seems so weird. Like somebody would just be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
I guess my dad's just gonna die. Fuck it.
But they tell each and every one of them, if you do not let this happen, your entire world with 9 billion people plus.
Yeah, that's why it's just like, why wouldn't you just let that happen? That should be a requirement of just like, you can't have somebody in the Spider-Man, like the Spider-Verse people, join the team unless these events have happened to you.
That's true.
Well, to me, the weird thing is, I mean, obviously, our first introduction with Spider-Man is Peter Parker 616, and it's Uncle Ben really dying first. Then he becomes like the hero part of Spider-Man. He's doing wrestling bullshit and being a selfish asshole prior. That's the part that seems to always be out of sync. But it is what it is. Obviously, it's alternative universes and all that shit. I'll say this too. I love fucking Miles's parents in this one even more. Like the fucking struggles with the teenager and not knowing and every single scene with his mom and his dad just fucking worked. Like really, really powerful stuff.
To be honest, I mean it's been a while since I've had this happen to me, but I seriously have a crush on Miles's mom. Like for animated character, she's badass, especially with that accent. Oh damn!
So the actress that plays his mom is also the mom in Transformers: Rise of the Beast. The same woman.
Nobody
Oh,
watched that.
I ain't
Wasn't
seen.
she in? Isn't she's in the Scrubs, right? Wasn't she the
I don't know if she's in
Kurt's
Shrek.
girlfriend?
Oh, is that woman? Okay.
I think so. Let me look and see.
Yeah,
But,
make sure. Giving
but
her.
I mean, I haven't put in my 2 cents. I mean, I kind of have already, but not fully. I put in a cent and a half. But yeah, I saw Into Spider-Verse. I really enjoyed the film as much as everybody else did. Um, it's just very interesting. There's a lot of parallels that
So
I saw.
you gonna open up the video? You still eating that sandwich or what?
No, do you need to see my?
I'm in like the audio.
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
just call
that's
him Hal, okay? He's
All
gonna be
right,
Hal from now on.
all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
all right. So the voice of the mom is the Latin chick from New York Undercover.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
she's the
great.
detective.
Yeah, she's the detective from
That's
New
what
York
I've seen.
Undercover.
Go ahead, old ninja. Then we
But
can't.
yeah, I mean, so I don't know if you already talked about this, but did y'all bring this up about the whole trans movement in Gwen? Like
No, we
everybody wants
didn't.
her to be Gwen.
Yeah, it's dumb. Like
I
I thought
did.
I mentioned it, but I don't know if I did.
I don't know if you guys did. I missed that part, but
So
I think it's a little weird. So go ahead, Prodigy.
here's what I'll say. I overtly saw that she had right above in her bedroom a sign saying "Protect Trans Kids." So she definitely believes in obviously that. I didn't see any evidence that she herself was. However, I'm also fine with if you want to interpret her as that, even without the clear cut evidence, it doesn't hurt anybody either. But
No.
I didn't see any aspect of that. I just did.
Well, it's just the things that people were saying like the evidence of like the colors and stuff like that. It's like no, that's like that's literally just her colors like in the comic books. And I think her comic books might go kind of before the new LGBTQ flag came out. Um,
Oh, okay, it's that far back. Wow. All
yeah,
right.
it's I gotta see like when. Let me see when Spider Gwen came out because yeah, it's been a minute.
But then
Right.
also we talked about it in the past on the previous episode, but like also the color palettes that's happening in Gwen's universe are all tied to like emotions.
Yeah,
Like, when she's sad and like when her dad shows up, like the anger and all this stuff, and like the color palette that I was getting was like somebody who's like scared and depressed and like don't know what to do with her fucking life, which I guess can kind of tie into somebody who could be transgender or whatever, because there's all these emotions going on. But I never got that impression that she was
The-
of the letter people.
there are definite. Here's what I did see. There are parallels that you could make
Yeah.
between someone who's a teenager and maybe a gay teen or something coming out to their parents versus one of either Spider Gwen or Miles coming out to their parents about being a spider person. I see those parallels. They're loose, but I didn't see anything indicating that she herself was transitioning.
yeah, just it didn't make sense. So let me just with the colors thing, just to be clear, when Spider Gwen was created, it was in 2014 is when Spider Gwen came out as like Spider Woman with that color palette and like her. Like I said, she's one of my favorite suits of Spider People, if not my favorite suit, even though it's pink. I don't really care. It looks dope. But the Progress, which is like one of the more latest Pride flags, came out in 2018. So like, there's really nothing there. But yeah, I mean, like Prodigy said, it's not hurting anybody if you think that, but I just don't think that's not the way her character is in the comics. It doesn't seem to be the way in the movie either. I hope this doesn't let people down when she has like relationships with men or
Miles
with
doesn't.
men or Miles. It's just like
Or let put that truth out there with black boys, black boys, Hobby and Miles.
yeah,
'Cause
it's just
she was trying to keep her relationship with Hobby on the low. She didn't want Miles knowing about
I mean,
that shit because
she was
he kept asking too.
she was wearing Hobby's fucking Reeboks.
but
Reeboks. She left her toothbrush or a brush, and
I'll,
Miles was like, "What the fuck?"
I'll give people this though. I mean, like they want a character so bad. Um, if there is like a trans character that is as well written as Spider Gwen or Spider Woman, then yeah, 100% for it. Like there needs to be a character like that, but it's just not this character.
Yeah. I'm always taken back to what's his name from Dragon Ball. That basic. God damn it! Why am I blanking on from Dragon Ball Z? Green.
Goku?
Piccolo?
No, green.
Piccolo.
Piccolo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: Dragon Ball Z, for everybody who's fucking too young to remember, has super racist ass black character Mr. Popo, right?
Yeah.
Black Dragon Ball fans ignored the ever loving fuck out of that and just said, you know what? Piccolo is black. Piccolo is a fucking alien, of course, but Piccolo is black to us. And so I get the whole aspect of seeing something that isn't clearly canon and clearly cut and dry there because you want to see it. And that's fine, it doesn't hurt anybody. But I just didn't see the clear cut evidence. If you want that for representation, sure.
Yeah, but I guess like you just said, we don't need to. So
yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
yeah, we don't need to.
Yeah, but Piccolo is always going to be black.
That is.
Dude, kind of draw back to Hobby Brown Spider-Man. Like when dude showed up on the scene, like he was just badass altogether. But when they did his backstory, like they didn't show his face, so I thought he was white just because like he's from England or whatever, and he had like the rocker style or whatever. I think even in the comics he's Caucasian, right?
No.
No. Yeah, I never read the comics. I just know like the character itself.
So Hobby Brown did a face reveal a few years back in the fucking comics, and it threw people for a loop because a lot of people did make that assumption. He has always been a black character in his own Spider universe, and he's a badass character. I'm glad he's getting some shine. But yeah, he's always been a black Spider-Man.
Yeah, what's cool about him in this movie was that like when they do his backstory, his face is covered. Like we don't see his face until he takes off his mask when he's inside the bureau. And the reaction that Miles had was like, "Yo, this guy's even cool without his mask on." And it was like, "Yeah, this dude is pretty cool." But what's also crazy is that like his color palette changed. Like his character was like in color, but when he took off his mask, he was like in black and white. I was like, "What? This is like they put some really cool like creativity into this fucking movie, and that's what makes it so great."
So did I think I caught this? I don't know if anyone else is. Does Hobby flip off the camera when he leaves? Yeah,
Yes.
I was like, it looks like he's all I quit, and then did he just flip off everybody? Like what the fuck?
Hobby did so many subtle things. He was stealing parts to make his own fucking watch.
His own teleporter, yeah.
His own teleporter. He was telling Peter or Miles to
use his powers.
Use your palm.
Yeah, don't use your fingers. Don't use your fingers.
And he told Miles some shit like, before you go enlisting, be sure you understand which war you're fighting. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
He was doing some Miyagi shit. Like he was doing some like Jedi mind training stuff. Like he was in his head before he even knew he was in there.
Spider-Punk is the MVP of this fucking movie. I'm saying it loudly.
And he showed up to Gwen's house and dropped off a teleporter for her because he knew what she was going to do.
He was playing 3D chess. Everyone else was playing checkers.
Yeah. But another scene I liked is when Gwen showed up in Miles' parents' house, or even in the beginning when she like showed up to the family barbecue, and like the fact that she like called the parents by like their first name and the parents' reaction, like that shit was hilarious. And even like later on, she still called them by her first name. Like she didn't get a clue. It's like, come on, Gwen, you gotta do better,
dude. But you know what's hella funny though is like as a parent, like for me, like when my kids friends like talk to me, they'll call me like my kids' name's Dad. And to me, it's just like it's weird for me to hear. I'm just like, I have a name. Like, what the fuck, man?
It's cultural. You're either Dad or Mr. Cronus.
Yeah.
Gotta put that respect on you.
I don't know. I'm pretty laid back. Y'all know me, so I don't really care about the honorifics.
There you go.
So, Prodigy, what did you think about the ending?
So yeah, great point. I'm glad you brought that up. I loved it. It felt very Empire and Twin Towers-y, in terms of the second movie ending on a cliffhanger. I think that was the perfect fucking ending for it. it felt like it ended at the right fucking time. I will say this, because I watched it with my daughter, and she was just like, "What the fuck? You
Your
can't
son
end it
didn't
like,
go?
huh?"
Your son? Oh, you probably already watched it, huh?
No, I'll tell you
Oh,
about
okay.
it.
No, I already. Okay, okay. I can
Ah,
already see. All right.
You already know.
Damn.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. We'll talk about it later.
But yeah, she was like, "What the fuck? Why is this ending at this time?" A lot of kids, I think, aren't used to, because they weren't around for Empire Strikes Back, they weren't around for Twin Towers, they weren't around for Back to the Future Part Two. They don't understand the whole. When you have a trilogy, the second one ends in a cliffhanger usually.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, same thing with Back to the Future.
yeah,
Yeah, he
what he
mentioned
said,
that.
yeah.
Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, my
Oh, yeah, it's the first one, too. Yeah.
my daughter was thoroughly confused. Like I think it was like 2 days later. She's like, "Yeah, let's go watch the third movie." I'm like, "It's not out yet." And she's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, we gotta wait till next year." She's like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, this is how movies
yeah,
work." Sorry, it's not
yeah.
Netflix.
I was trying to think about when was the last time I saw to be continue at the end of a movie. Like, it's been a while.
I mean,
no,
last time you see it all the time with
Marvel movies.
No,
do
no,
that
no,
almost-
no. God damn it!
No, but they don't say to be continue.
I even have the
JoJo's
fucking music in my head.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, doom, doom, doom,
Ah.
doom, doom. Yeah, the music was in my head.
all of that.
Every episode.
Yep. Yeah, it's big in anime, but yeah, we'll fucking see them. But this is great. This is already a great trilogy. Like an
Yeah,
all
what
trilogy.
the third one comes out next year, right? Like
Yeah.
December of next year.
No, it's like March of 2024. Pretty early.
It's
too fucking
it's kind
far
of
away,
cool
man.
that like 3 of the black superhero movies are in the top 5 of the highest rated movies for comic book movies.
There you go.
Because it's both Into the Spider-Verse movies and Black Panther. Yeah,
There you go.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, yeah. I mean, what was it? Listening to Geek History Lesson, a very excellent podcast, and I've had the chance to meet them. I think Blue has too.
I met the girl.
You met Ashley. I
Yeah.
met both of them at Comic Con. Oh, actually, Carlos was with me. I don't think he knew who they were, but
Probably not.
yeah, I met up with them, and Jason from Geek History Lesson pointed out that the kids that are growing up today, their Spider-Man is Miles Morales.
That's my daughter.
Some of them,
Yeah.
some of them have no idea who they may have a passing knowledge who Peter Parker is, but not really. To them, it is 100% Miles Morales. Everything else, Peter Parker's it's like us and or not us, but like the modern audience with Blue Beetle. Like everyone knows Jaime Reyes. Everyone loves Jaime Reyes. Ted Cord, who the
Yeah,
fuck
who
is
the
that?
fuck is that? Yeah.
Who the fuck is Ted Cord? Who the fuck is that?
Yeah. I don't disagree, because you're right to a certain extent, but that last Spider-Man Tom
Yeah.
Holland,
Make it $200.
that made stupid ass Avengers level money.
Yeah, true. But
So
comic book wise, mm-mm.
yeah, I don't know.
And they're waiting with like bated breath for a live action Miles movie. And I love the fact that they give like an MCU shout out in fucking Across the Spider-Verse. I was like, oh shit, like
Yep.
this is gonna be good once this pops off, it's gonna be good.
Yep. Shit, man, we got a bunch of other stuff to get into. Oh, here's what I want to hear from. Blue and Old Ninja support abusive anti-Hawaiian film.
You are so I love when you do this because you interject your own opinion. It's like when
is that an opinion? I'm sorry.
That's a fact.
Is that an
no,
opinion?
so it's yeah, because like you can title however you want, but like it's like saying, it's like reading Trump news when he's like, "Oh,
wow.
fake news."
Listen to the defensiveness.
Oh,
Okay.
So
Well, yeah, because my money goes to the man himself, Michael Keaton. The other guy, I don't know.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I
I
don't know
walked in on
all
this
this
one.
abusive bullshit you're talking about, but I don't support that. I support 71-year-old Michael Keaton doing badass shit as Batman once again.
Who was the lead?
Let's just
lead of that movie?
Yeah, let's just move on.
Mike-
We have
Wait.
to talk about Ezra Miller. You cannot just ignore
Who-
the
who
shit that he
that?
did.
Bruce
Yeah,
Smith?
I mean,
Who
he
the fuck is
he
Ezra Miller?
intimidated, verbally assaulted, and harassed women
No, I don't know him. Mm-mm.
in a meeting in Germany. He
I
was
don't know
arrested for disorderly conduct and harassment at a karaoke bar in Hawaii. he reported he was like grooming kids. He had like he basically kidnapped a fucking 12-year-old, you know,
Yeah.
during protests. You know, like dude, he was
Yeah.
Are
hosting
we
a
talking about
25
the
year old
Flash?
mother and her 3 children at a Vermont property, and yeah, it was just like basically hiding them. Yeah, he what the fuck? He had interactions with another 12-year-old in Massachusetts in 2022. There's a lot, bro. Felony, fucking burglary,
I, I
trespassing.
don't know whom to
So,
do.
so
I don't
hold
know
on.
what you're talking about. I don't
Let,
know
let
any
me
of
just
this stuff that you're talking
let me
about.
just set the
I
record.
know Michael Keaton's in the movie though. I'll
No,
say
no.
that.
So hold on. Before you guys even set up this goddamn movie, you have to own the fact that the lead character, not a side character, not fucking ancillary fucking character that made a cameo, the lead character is Ezra. This is his fucking movie. He's on all the billboards. Come on now.
I don't know.
Nah,
No, bro. He shared all the billboards. Is usually
Here we go.
There's 3 people on there.
It-
Well, most prominently is Michael Keaton.
Why you gotta be an
There's a
apologist,
girl.
bro?
There's a girl in the background. Then there's this guy that you're talking about. I don't know him. Mm-mm. I don't know this person.
This is why old ninja won't show his face. He got sandwich cut off. He
Yeah.
doesn't
No,
admit
no.
fucking Ezra is the
I,
star of
I,
this movie.
I don't know who you're talking about, bro. I don't know who that. I know all I know is Michael Keaton once again shows out with his old ass, still in pretty good fucking shape. Yeah.
Shit. Go ahead. Get into your shitty ass review of your abuser.
Yo, that's your abuser. You talk about him more than I do.
Well, somebody needs to say you can't just like fucking pass over that shit.
No, I'm not
Goddamn.
passing up. Blue, what'd you think of the Flash movie? What'd you think?
So I did enjoy myself. The movie was really not really good, but it was better than the other DC movies. Like I've seen the Atom and Shazam 2, which recently is on Disney. I don't know, Max on Disney, HBO Max or Max or whatever the fuck it's called now. And this is definitely better than that. Is it a perfect movie? No, but I did get my Batman fangism on when Michael Keaton showed up on the scene and he was doing his Batman shit. So basically, all the Batman stuff, or majority of the Batman stuff you see in the trailer is in the movie. So I mean, I knew it was going to happen, but still, I still, I needed some fluids after exploding on the screen. But yeah, overall, I thought the story was decent. I mean, it's not the Flashpoint paradox, like it wasn't that. But overall, I had a good time watching it. And every time Ezra Miller was on the screen, I closed my fucking eyes. I didn't want to see his ass. But no, like, in the beginning of the movie, it's kind of slow and kind of like this movie's gonna be horrible. But once Batman entered the scene, like the movie got like 100 times better. So I might be a little bit biased about the movie just because fucking Batman was in it. And then like Kara Zor-El, she's in there as Supergirl, and whoever they cast for her, they did a really good job because usually Supergirl is blonde and like wearing a skirt, dress, whatever, not. But like they did this character right by having her be more like kind of like Clark, and then having her more in like a bodysuit and stuff. But overall, I just thought it was a good movie. There only one problem I had with the movie is that it really didn't have a villain.
Mm.
Like, Zod's in it.
I thought it was Ezra, wasn't it?
I mean, technically Ezra is a villain, but like, there's not really like a major villain in this movie.
I mean, yes and no. Go ahead.
What's your take on it? I don't want to spoil too much because man, I can go into it. There's a lot of fucking cameos.
So
You're not gonna offend me spoiling. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. So there's a lot of shit that happens in the film. It's just like this is more inspired by the Flashpoint paradox. This isn't like a direct like adaptation. This is like oh, we're gonna take elements from the Flashpoint paradox and then turn this into a movie. You can tell that this is probably 2 different movies merged into one. It looks like they went one route and decided to go a different route because like you can tell the tone. So in the beginning, there's a lot of awkwardness. There's a lot of because he's awkward in Justice League, the original, the one that was released in theaters. He's that kind of awkwardness in this, but he's a CSI. Like in Justice League and Dawn of Justice, I thought he was a thief. I thought he was like stealing NASA tech and like living in somebody's basement or some shit. But in this one, he's an actual CSI.
That's him in real life, bro.
Yeah, right.
So he's working on
that shaped up character.
Yeah, he's working on his dad's case. he goes back in time to like save his mom type thing. But it's like the weird thing is like you don't see. Well, you're not supposed to really see, but you hear what happens to his mom, and you see what happened. One thing I thought was kind of interesting, they made him Latino, so his
Yeah,
mom is hardcore Latina, and so he's
big
like half.
accent.
Yeah, she's a fat like she's like an immigrant. She's basically an immigrant, and she does like a lot of like Mexican American like heritage things for her son. And so I was like, oh, they went this route,
That make,
which is fine. But
but she makes spaghetti.
yeah, but she does make spaghetti, and it's just weird because I think a lot of people that were Flash fans might take offense to this.
Mom spaghetti?
Yeah, he makes bomb spaghetti.
This knees weight
Same
arms
dude.
heavy.
I mean, even though if you were watching the TV show The Flash, Iris West is black. She's black in the film as she was in the Zack Snyder's Justice League. But it's just like so. The movie starts one where he's like really weird and awkward, and then like when he goes in time, he becomes the mature adult to himself. So he has to teach his younger self how to behave, kind of. And it's very strange. It's a very weird transition. You watch the film, and like the CGI is the same way. Like the CGI starts really good at the beginning. You're like, oh shit, I don't get what everyone's fucking complaining about. And then it goes to like, oh, okay,
Yeah, I guess
this is okay.
it's
And then
it's kind
later
of
on,
weird.
then it goes to what the fuck is this? Like what part are you guys doing? You got all that. And just like Blue said, there's no. So you know what? I'm gonna fuck this up, everybody. The villain is basically fucking Savitar.
Yeah,
The villain's fucking Savitar. Without being named Savitar. The villain is fucking Savitar. That's the real quote
but
unquote villain.
barely,
I'm just like,
barely.
huh?
He's
But
only a villain
I
for
mean,
like 5 minutes. Not even that.
no, overall, he's the one that sets everything up. So when you watch the film in the beginning, when Barry saves his mom, he goes forward in time to see how his life changes. So through the speed force, he's able to see how his life was able to be if his mom had lived. And then this entity comes through the speed force and knocks the shit out of him right out of it. So he ends up like at a certain point, like when he's 18. So he doesn't know what the fuck's going on, and he wants to get back in time, but he wants to spend time with his mom. He finds out things are all fucked up, so it goes from there. I did like Supergirl, even though she really doesn't talk a whole lot, which is I think was probably better. But she still has like the whole like um I guess I don't want to say PTSD, but she was a little bit traumatized. But she gains her strength pretty quickly, and she kind of fits in, gets her place, and they don't have a hard time convincing her to help them out, but it's still pretty interesting. But overall, like the movie it was enjoyable, but it wasn't like I was just whelmed. To be honest, I wasn't overwhelmed. I wasn't super excited. Um, if
Not
you
even
are
Batman came on the scene.
yeah, if you are a Flash fan, if you love the Flash, if you watch the Justice League animated stuff, if you watch the TV series, this movie's a fucking slap to the face. Hard slap to the fucking face. Like you're gonna hit the ground after it slaps you. If you are a casual fan, if you don't give a fuck about the Flash, if you casually kind of know about the Flash, this movie's awesome. I went with someone who didn't know shit about the Flash, and he enjoyed the movie. He's like, "Oh, this movie's dope. Like, my wife would like this movie. Like, I enjoyed this." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, with me, I was just like, "Man, where's fucking Grant Gustin when I needed him?" Like, like
I mean, he shows up in there for a second. He's
yeah, for like
cameo.
literally like 0.01 of a second in the movie.
That's only 2 seconds more than the Savitar.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because they do so. Literally, the premise of Superman Lives, the 1990s Superman movie that was supposed to happen with Tim Burton, is literally made in this film. So it's very
Yeah.
weird.
So it
But
had what's his name?
Nick Cage,
Yeah, Nick Cage. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Cage shows up.
Yeah, it's very like strange, but I get what they tried to do, but to me, it just didn't. It just didn't. It was kind of shaky and wobbly in the middle. They kind of barely stuck the landing, but
Yeah.
it was mid. It was just okay. I mean,
And right now, it's doing. I mean, it's pretty an average score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's sitting at 67% from audience. I think.
yeah. I mean,
That's
I
high.
think I think it's is it higher than Black Adam or just about the same? I don't remember. I think it's higher than Black Adam.
See,
I would say I would watch this over Black Adam. I'll give that. Black Adam was just, but Black Adam to me was mid as well. That was just mid.
So, so the tomato score is 66%, but the audience score is 84%.
Yeah, that's for. I think that's casuals. Like your average movie goer will enjoy this film. If you're a comic book fucking nerd, a comic book weeb, and you're a Flash fan, you're not gonna like it at all.
I will simply say after Spider-Man and Batman, I actually think the Flash has some of the best rogues gallery in comics, and I would even say I sometimes prefer his over Superman and Wonder Woman's. Like it's pretty great. I like his with Grodd and Cold and obviously Zoom and
Captain Cold, Captain Boomerang. These little lame ass fucking names. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I only can name like maybe 3 of Superman's rogue galleries. Got Lex Luthor, Darkseid, and fuck, I had the name and I lost it. And
Brainiac.
Oh yeah, Brainiac. There you go.
Zod.
Yeah, I can bet you if you went to your average person and asked them to name a Superman villain, they will 100% say Lex Luthor. If you do the reverse and ask them a villain of the Flash, they either won't know shit or they'll say like somebody random, like a normal DC villain.
But that's the problem with the whole aspect of it, especially if you didn't watch the CW show. This is the first solo Flash movie. And so, I mean, we're in 2023. Superman had movies since the 70s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Flash had a TV show in the 90s.
Yeah,
and
but
shit.
TV and movies are different things, especially when you're talking about 90s TV shows.
So they are different things, but I will quote Robin Williams when he says, when you watch a TV show, that show, you're in people's homes. Like you're watching them per week versus a movie, you're one and done. Versus a TV show with multiple seasons, you're watching them weekly, like on a weekly basis, like you're like talking 20 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, but the problem is with that scenario is that yes, you can be in people's homes, but when people make a movie, they're way more likely to make it a huge event. Like you're not going to see the same amount of viewers for a movie that you do with like a TV show. It's like multiplied when you for a movie. That's why movies make so much goddamn money. That's why they put so much budget in a movie because they know that they're going to get that much more money out of a movie as opposed to a TV show.
Exactly.
I mean, there isn't fucking, The Flash on CW is not shown worldwide.
No.
But The Flash, the movie is.
Well, yeah. We'll have bigger markets. 100%.
Yeah. The bottom line is DC or Warner Brothers really fumbled this character. And the movie's not doing well financially at all from the first weekend, especially for its crazy large fucking inflated budget. And again, it doesn't sound like you guys saw it. I didn't. That you get a sense of how good his fucking rogues gallery is, or at least how good his main villains are.
I don't know.
He didn't have any villains in this movie.
He has no villains. None of his rogues are in this fucking movie. That's why I'm saying like his rogues gallery can't be that strong if you can't bring any of them into this fucking film. There is no Eobard Thawne in this fucking movie.
Or maybe it just has a shitty writer and director. Like,
yeah, I think that's what it came down to. He didn't have good writing because Eobard Thawne, Reverse Flash, at least in some avenues, he's the one that caused Barry's mom to die. They don't even go into that. They don't even talk about how Barry's mom died. They
said she dies. You don't see what happens.
She just ended up dead in the kitchen with a knife in her chest, and the dad gets blamed for it. Even though he's out there buying a carton of milk.
So
should be surprised if that came back.
My logic behind this: if Flash's rogue gallery was that strong, his rogues would have been featured in this movie.
I think you're incorrect because I mean he has a pretty solid rogues gallery, like Prodigy
if
said.
If he does, then why?
It's not even if he does.
It's
just
writing.
It was just written poorly.
Yeah.
I mean,
so did they not feel that one of his rogues could not go up against him in his first solo film?
No, because they're obviously the writing is shitty. I mean, like look at the show. I mean, the show features his rogues gallery all the time, and it's a bunch of people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And not,
I finished the show. I
Yeah.
watched all 9 seasons.
not having
But
any
like,
of them in the movie is quite odd.
if you look at like Black Adam, like he had a villain in that. Like he had somebody he was going against, and even like defeats him at the end. He didn't have any, like the Flash didn't have a villain in this movie. I mean, yeah, the Savitar kind of shows up for a bit. He like knocks him out of Speed Force, and you learn that he's at the end. But like,
his suit is basically Savitar.
Dude, he didn't even fight Savitar.
No, he doesn't.
There's not even a fight scene between the two.
That's common.
Savitar just actually killed. Yeah, his villains were not in this movie. It was basically them making a movie about the Flash without having a villain in there. I mean, overall, I still liked it.
Yeah, I mean, there was Zod. I mean, Zod is technically he does fucking kill a lot of people.
Hold on. Stop the fucking music, goddammit. General fucking Zod is a Superman villain.
He is.
The Flash doesn't fight Zod. The Flash doesn't fight Zod. Supergirl does.
Not. Supergirl does. Yep, 100%.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't talk about General. I like General Zod. General Zod is fucking great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but he's not a Flash villain. Shut the fuck up.
He's not. But he's like he's what they push to you as the villain, and that's what they're working to against time to try to stop. But they have to go find Superman to stop General Zod because the Flash knows that he can't stop him on his own.
The actor that played General Zod literally was at the premiere getting interviewed, talking all shit.
Michael Shannon. I mean, he's a great actor. He talked hell of shit, but it was just
he was like, "This NDA is over, and y'all the check cleared. Fuck this movie. Fuck the director."
Damn.
One kind of cool thing in the movie, this was kind of my intro, was that so Barry, he goes to Michael Keaton's Batman or to Bruce Wayne's house looking for his version of Batman, and then like they get into the whole time travel and stuff like that. And Michael Keaton's character, is making a bowl of spaghetti, and like he goes. So they talk about like Back to the Future. It comes up a lot for like time travel movies. They even brought it up in Endgame. And Michael Keaton said, like, well, in Back to the Future, basically, like, you go to one point, and then all of a sudden, the future varies off. And he's like, no, it doesn't work that way. It's like this. They take like a bowl of spaghetti, just fucking slaps on the ground in a fucking bowl with like, all of these are different timelines. Some of them overlap. Some of them run parallel to each other. Like that's how time works. Like even though you might go back and make a change here, you're not getting back to where you need to be. You're going to start going down this other path, and that he kind of explains why there's different. Like why there's Supergirl instead of Superman, and why there's Michael Keaton Batman and not his Batman. So they kind of like pick into that, but then also like there's a scene where they're inside the Speed Force, and you just see all these other timelines or dimensions and stuff kind of starting to collide. And it just gave me the impression that they're kind of playing with the whole. I think it was called. I think it's a Marvel thing where all the universes were starting to collide into each other. Or was that DC that did that?
That's from What If. What If does that, where they all.
I think Marvel did that, where like all the universes started kind of colliding into each other. I can't remember what it's called.
DC does that too. That's why you get the New 52 because they all crash into each other.
Oh yeah, it was Convergence. That's what it is. Yeah, so it was DC.
Oh, yeah. So
but yeah, so they kind of were touching on that a little bit inside this movie.
If I will say that if you are still on the fence and you don't want to be outed that you watch this movie, wait for a month and a half when it's on Max. Then watch
it. It'll be real quick.
It'll be on Max by September, 100%. Watch it there.
You could be like me and go watch it matinee at like the first showing for $6.
I saw it for like $4.50 or it was like.
And I was in the theater all by myself. Like I swear to God, Vegeta and Goku showed up for a fight because there was so many in there.
Yeah, I actually had people in my theater. There was actually like a good third of the crowd was there. So I was actually kind of surprised. I thought there was gonna be less people. There was actually a good amount.
I feel this movie probably would have done better if Ezra wasn't in it. Like if they did just recast it and reshot it, it probably would have made more money.
Oh yeah, if he did not fuck up his personal life, this movie would have done a lot better. It still would have been weird, but it would have been.
Michael Keaton held this movie.
Hold
I
on.
need to say that.
Prodigy, go ahead.
Yeah, let's say it straight. It wasn't that he fucked up his personal life. Ezra was the one fucking up other people's personal lives.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, true.
he's got victims, motherfucker. God damn.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Flash.
All right. Let's move
I
on.
also one more thing. I need to buy that giant fucking Batman kite that he uses. Goddamn, thing is fucking dope.
So you can electrocute yourself.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I can use it. I can use it to charge. I can use it to charge my Tesla.
God dang.
Basically,
Alright.
for them to recreate the Flash, like Batman flew up a giant goddamn kite and like use it to. He basically did he was Benjamin Franklin had a kite to scare sky to catch the fucking lightning, and like the kite was just fucking dope. But it goes back to the whole Batman stuff always being Batman bat shape. Where like I think in more classic things, it's not that way.
Cool. Kronos, take it over. What you got? You wanted to switch gears.
Yeah, let's talk about. Let's see. There's two things I wanted to talk. Well, actually, more than two things, but we can talk about Final Fantasy 16 or something else I want to talk about too. No, I fucking forgot. So we'll just talk about or there's also Juneteenth and Father's Day and all that shit. But let's talk about Final Fantasy 16 because Prodigy, you played it. Any of the rest of you guys play it?
I played the
demo.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I talked about it a little bit last week, but I wanted to kind of elaborate more on it this week, and especially because Prodigy played it, I want to get his thoughts as well. There was a whole function of the game that I forgot to bring up that was one of the coolest goddamn things that I've seen ever in a game. Y'all know, I've probably said it multiple times in this podcast, but I wish there was like a mode for like, you know, adult gamers that can't play games all the goddamn time, where like you go back into a game they haven't played for a while, and it gives you like just a general recap of what the fuck was going on, like where you left off, and like these are how the controls go, like, you know. Final Fantasy 16 took a step towards that with this thing called ATL. It's the Active Time Lore, and basically, if you're in pretty much any time in the game, but it's especially important like when you're playing the game and they're talking about shit that you don't remember, or about like events that happen like some other part of like the world that you don't really understand, you can hold down the touchpad and it brings up like this small menu of like what they're talking about in context, and then you can click on it and it'll give you more information on like what the fuck they're talking about. So to say it's like some war with like some faction that you're not familiar with, like if you hold down the touchpad, it'll bring up that faction and it'll tell you like more about that faction, like what they're doing. Like I thought that was like one of the coolest fucking things ever in a video game, and I've never seen any video game do that before, and I hope that more games do that going forward because that makes it way easier for people like Prodigy that don't pay attention to stories to like catch up on shit and at least know what they're talking about if he even uses it, which probably won't because he's Prodigy.
So Cronus, I don't think you caught my review on Jedi Survivor. What you described is what you can do in the game. The only thing is, like in the very beginning, you can do a recap.
Mhm.
So the game start with the recap, but you can hit the recap every time you get to the main menu. And also, when you're in the game, you can literally pause the game at any point and enter a training mode. If you don't know how to do a mood, you don't know how to do certain combos, you can literally enter a training mode in the middle of a fucking game at any time, almost any time. You can't do it during a cutscene.
So
But
the recaps are cool, but the fact that like when they're literally in the middle of like a cutscene, and you just hold down a button, and then like in context, it'll bring up like like what they're talking about, and you can like click on like what you might be confused about. Like,
yeah, okay. So
it's not
as
really
far
it's
as
not a recap.
oh yeah, no. So I was gonna say like it does the recap, but like you were talking about training where you forgot how to move or do
Oh yeah,
particular. Yeah, you can do that in Jedi Survivor at pretty much any time, and then you can add enemies to practice your moves, and then pull yourself out and go right back to the game.
yeah.
Like,
There's a training mode in Final Fantasy 16 too, but it's not like the one you're talking about. You can't just do it in like the middle of the game. You have to like go to like a special area for it.
okay,
Anyway,
but yeah,
Prodigy, what do you think about the demo?
Dude, I didn't even finish all of it. I was already sold. Like, I started playing it, and I was like, okay, the Phoenix. Basically, you got a Phoenix boy band RPG guy, and I was like, all right. And then they started doing the combat with him. I was like, oh, this feels fucking intuitive. I've never played this game The last one I played was Final Fantasy Remake 7, which is my first fucking Final Fantasy. That was solid. This feels completely different and more fluid with the combat. And everything about it just fucking worked. I was already sold. I was like, you know what? I don't want to play too much of this demo because they already will have my fucking money. But I enjoyed everything about it. It felt right. And I'm seeing the reviews. I'm not surprised at all after playing even only, what was it, 30, 40 minutes of the demo. This shit is going to be a fucking banger.
Did you see about like, so they don't have like difficulty settings, but they have like items you can use to make the game easier for you?
Yep.
I thought that was really cool because like one time, like when you do like the icon challenges, it turned one on, and I was just like, because there's basically like one that you can use is basically, when you when an attack is incoming, normally there's like cues for it and you can just like dodge. But if you happen to miss that cue, it gives you like a couple seconds to like hit the right button to dodge again. It's like maybe a second and a half.
Yeah.
To dodge again. I thought that was really cool. And there's other ways to like make the game easier for you as a player, but you can still enjoy the game. And I thought, and instead of like making like difficulty settings, just like having some like making it easier to play, depending on like how you like to play. I thought that was really intuitive.
Yeah. Here's my thing. My first, like I said, first time playing the Final Fantasy was 7. But I'm gonna ride a chocobo and I'm gonna flame on with some of these folks and slice and dice them to fucking pieces, man. I'm all in. I need to finish up Diablo first.
Yeah.
Because I still think that's a good 40 to 50 hours more with the playthrough, and then probably July, a little early-ish to mid-July, I'm getting Final Fantasy. There ain't no doubt about it.
Yeah.
That's what hold me tight.
I'm getting it too. Like I said, I'm playing Diablo 4 as well, and Tears of the Kingdom. I don't think I can play Tears of the Kingdom, that, and Final Fantasy 16. It's kind of a lot for my old brain to remember all the controls, especially because like the controls for Tears of the Kingdom is not intuitive. I don't really like the controls. It's like fucking backwards. Like it's like X, which is like up here, is to jump. A, which is down here. B is the fucking sprint. A is to like pick up shit. I forget what Y is.
That's backwards.
Yeah, it's like totally backwards. Like every time I pick up the game, I'm like, why the fuck is it like this? I'm like, why can't I just press L3 to like sprint instead of holding down B?
Can you remap it?
No.
Oh,
like I went to go remap it, and I was just like, they're like, here's the controls. Don't you like them? No, bitch, I don't. I want to change them.
Shit. God damn.
Like, at least like the one of the things about the PS5 that is cool. Actually, maybe there's a feature within the Switch that I don't know about, when you can remap in the system, because I know for the PS5 you can literally remap everything for the controller based upon game.
Yeah.
So
that's good shit, man. Love it. Yeah, I'm definitely get it. There's gonna be more reviews as we get deeper into that shit for sure. You wanted to touch on what, Juneteenth or Father's Day? God damn it.
let's do Father's Day. There's 3 of us here are fathers. I'm sure Old Ninja probably has some seeds running out there somewhere. But yeah. As y'all see, I'm wearing the band.
Don't put that juju on me.
Oh, okay. Maybe you don't. Fuck them kids.
Hey, I was gonna say Maury's dead, so you should be okay.
He don't claim none of them. Yeah, Father's Day was pretty good. Actually, Blue, you're the newest father. How was yours?
It was good. What I wanted to do didn't work out. So I wanted to like just kind of do like get out and go for like a little family like hike or whatever. And we were going to go down to Uvis Park. And on the way down there, there was a major traffic accident on the 680. And so we were stuck there for like a long ass time basically. But yeah, we ended up just having dinner at oh god, what's it called? At Yard House. We went down to San Jose, and down at Santana Row, we had dinner there. And what was great was that there was no line, which is rare. But like after we were done eating, like it kind of got busy. But I thought that place isn't as great as it used to be. Like it kind of lost its pizzazz. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't know.
I think because when we used to go to Yard House, we had a mission to accomplish, and it was drinking a shitload of beer. That definitely enhances the experience. But as we age, I think we're all kind of drinking a little bit less. So.
But I think also like while we were there, I'm like, God, can they just turn out the music just a little bit? Like it was hella hard to hear, and I don't know. It was it was. I mean, I still had a good time. You know, the food was still great, and like I did get a great beer. So I mean, it was a lot of fun. We just kind of walked around afterwards, and there was like how like Santana Row, how there's always like there's people that got money basically, and there's always like Lamborghinis and Ferraris just kind of sitting there.
Yeah.
Some like asshat decided to jump into his Lambo and just start revving the fucking engine like hell goddamn loud, and like you just hear it down the fucking strip. And I was just thinking like there's somebody who was stuck in traffic who was doing that same thing, and it's fucking Lamborghini caught on fire. Basically the fucking engine overheat because the car wasn't moving, so there was like no airflow. So the car caught back end of the car caught on fire. But yeah, overall, Father's Day was good. The sweetness did get me. She did end up buying tickets to go see Janet Jackson.
Oh shit.
So
Miss Nasty.
Janet Jackson was here on Friday. She was here on Friday at Shoreline, which I didn't know she was going to be there. But we're gonna go see her in a little town called Lincoln, California, which is like up by Sacramento. But I'm pretty excited about that. This is my third time seeing her, and I think this is probably the most I've ever seen an artist like live. Like I've seen like other bands and stuff like that, but I've seen her more than other people.
Like your brother, I saw.
He sees them like 5 times a year, if not more. For Drew Hill.
Yeah, Drew Hill.
I think he saw them like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
In Baltimore. So the guy's a huge fan. What's your guys' Father's Day like?
Yeah, Prodigy, what about you?
I ended up seeing Across the Spider-Verse with my daughter, and what did I do? I think I took her to some indoor playground area. It was just kind of really low key. Some nice, good family time all the way around. Really nice card from Mishka, and a few little gifts as well, which is nice. Basic ones, though. What about you, Cronus?
Well, I worked on, Father's Day because, I work on Sundays, but and I just took a bunch of Sundays off. So, yeah, mine was. So I spent, Saturday was like my Father's Day, and we went to Dave and Buster's, which is weird because I'm not drinking right now. So it was just like I could have had more fun if I was drinking, I guess, but it was still fun though because it's when my youngest goes there, she has a lot of fun, and yeah, it's cool.
It is a fucking arcade. Like
it is an arcade, yeah. But then when you have like a 6.5-year-old, like you have to like watch her, and like play games that she wants to play. So it's a little different. It's like it wasn't like I was going with my oldest, like way different dynamic because she can just play what she wants and I'll play what I want and we'll play together. But like I can't play a fighting game with my youngest. Like it's not gonna work. And they also don't have fighting games at Dave and Buster's, which is kind of sad. They have card fighting games, which is fucking weird.
Oh man.
Like Digimon type shit, like
they had like Injustice, but it was like a card type game. It was like it's weird.
Oh yeah,
but it's all right. I still had still had fun going there. And yeah, I got this cool shirt. I got some artwork from my youngest, of course. And
nice.
she made me like some clay stuff too, like clay figurines, which reminds me of my oldest because she used to do that for me all the time. So that's pretty neat. I like it when they both do that. So yeah.
And then you also dropped a special video too on her Father's Day, right?
I did a Father's Day video because like I did a really cool thing about like I started making notes for my youngest in her lunches. I make her lunches every day, whether she's in like camps or in school. Because she's in camps, I decided to just start writing her like random notes, and after a while, I was just like, well, let me see what I can do with these notes instead of just like just random bullshit. I started like asking her questions like in the notes, and I'd leave a pen and she'd write me back. And so she started writing me back, and then like on last Friday, I asked her like, what are the names of her new friends? And then she just like took the paper and like had all of her friends and all of her coaches like either write their name or sign it. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like this is like the coolest thing ever. And like I didn't think that she was gonna do that. So now I got to think of other things to do. And yeah, another part of fatherhood is I give you a small taste of my life. I'll be truthful because I don't think my oldest is gonna mind at this point. But she got kind of mad that I wrote notes and like I guess it was like a lot of things that she had to say to me, which is like whatever. Not whatever. It's you're never always happy with your parents, so sometimes them's the breaks. That so we had to have a kind of a long conversation about some things. But it's just part of being a parent and a kid. So I'm not a perfect dad by any means. But I thought we had a really productive conversation, and then because of that, I started writing her notes. So I'm handwriting notes to her, and just like taking a picture, and then like sending them to her, and like with questions and stuff. And it's been pretty neat, I think. So yeah,
That's cool.
Awesome shit. Awesome shit.
Apparently, adults like notes too. So
yes, they do. Remember pen pals? That'll fucking date yourself, you know?
yeah, I remember like doing the pen
shit.
pals and like folding your fucking notes and like the weird fucking thing. You remember that?
Or
shit?
origami shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Making like the little envelope pocket thingy.
Yeah.
Or making heart shapes.
Now you can just text somebody, so it's way different.
Hell yeah.
I gotta tell you, my handwriting is still pretty good. Like I'm actually kind of like I thought it was kind of crappy, and then somebody commented that my handwriting is good, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what, it is pretty legible. So, especially for a guy who types all day.
Nice.
Do you write in that in cursive? Or you just
No, I just write. Like, here's one.
for anybody who doesn't know, cursive is the ancient way of writing.
It's calligraphy.
Calligraphy, it's hieroglyphics.
Here was like one of the first things that I like asked her. It's like probably backwards. Yeah, it's backwards. You can't really read it. But yeah, my writing isn't that bad. But basically, I was asking.
Turn it
her,
around. Turn it around. Maybe it'll work.
Yeah, basically, I asked her what like her favorite creature that she saw that day, and she wrote a heart with an R and then a snake because she was at reptile camp.
What's funny is when you're a kid and in school and shit, you know everybody's fucking signature and their handwriting style. I don't know anybody's anymore. Like I don't know what your handwriting looks like. I don't know what you know. I know what maybe Mishka, and that's about it. Like there's very few.
We don't write anymore, but it's actually it's kind of neat to write though. I got to say, like writing these little notes. You know, it takes me a little bit of time to write, but it's also kind of nice to like actually take the time to write a note to somebody. So
yeah.
I used to write when Venus and I were first dating. I used to write her notes. Like she would take Bart to work or whatever, and I would like come over. I would find her car and like just leave like a little note on her like her window or whatever, and then just goes into the night.
Good shit. We had a major fucking holiday on Monday, national federal holiday. What did they call it over at
Oh,
you
God.
say, Cronus, in the chat?
I gotta find it. It was like the most crazy fucking thing that I have ever heard, and it actually is a day, but it's not that day. Hold on. It was like global service day for social justice is what some company called it. I was like, that's a weird fucking way to say Juneteenth.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's not Juneteenth. Yeah. It's not a global service day for social justice.
The global service day or the World Day of Social Justice is February 20th.
Yeah.
That's a whole different day.
Yeah, whole different month, whole fucking yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I worked on Juneteenth too, by the way. So, you know, I work hard for the money.
Yeah. I did too, and I felt really icky about that. I was like, why did I take today off? You know?
Well, for me, it's like, you know, I just took a bunch of time off, and, you know, so I try to like, because my shop is 24/7.
Yeah.
So if I take the day off, you know, somebody has to work. And so, and I knew like the first one up was Juneteenth. So I was like, I'll work this one. I'll get 4th of July off. So, you know, whatever. Plus, I'll get an extra day off for Juneteenth. So it's not like I lose a day. Like I'll get my day off, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I was just glad to see some folks celebrating. Actually, the really shitty thing I heard about here in San Diego, there was a fucking shooting at and I was like, what the fuck, man? God damn it. But I'm not gonna focus on the negative shit that happened here. Overall, obviously, great event. Shout out to Black folks in Texas for, you know, celebrating and keeping this tradition alive since 18 fucking hundreds.
Galveston, Texas, to be perfectly clear.
Very good. Yeah, Galveston, Texas. A big FU to shitty
Arizona.
Well, yeah, you could do Arizona, you can do Candazoans, you could do a whole lot of people who just lose their mind at the thought of a celebration of the end of slavery. Almost like you want slavery to still be going on.
That's some Uncle Ruckus shit right there.
Hold on. What did Candace Owens say this fucking?
Oh, her dusty fucking ass said, I'm paraphrasing, but Juneteenth is a made-up holiday and it's not important, or some shit like that. I mean, she really went in. I'll find it. You keep talking. I'll find it.
So I found out that for those of you who probably didn't know about Juneteenth, you're probably not listening to this podcast, first off. But if you do come across this podcast and get to this part, some people didn't know that your state
Oh shit.
doesn't promote Juneteenth, and they kind of may even perhaps give out false information. So I found out from a friend that happens to live in Arizona. He thought that Juneteenth was some kind of hippy dippy, like stupid holiday that he didn't know the meaning of. I had to school him. I'm like, dude, do you even know what this is about? He's like, no. He's like, this is just another day to have the day off. I'm like, no, this day pretty much ends the official end of slavery. I mean, I fully broke it down with the whole Galveston, Texas thing, but he was like, oh shit, I wasn't aware because his state does not celebrate it and they don't give out any information about it because they don't fucking care. And it's weird to me because Arizona was a slave state or was a free state. I apologize. It was a free state, but now they have like that Candace Owen mentality about, to put them back in bondage type thing.
This is what I don't get about Candace Owens, especially, is because this is how I know she's like one of the fakest people of all fucking time. And basically, if there's such thing as a soul, she has sold it to appease whiteness in America. She sued her school back in like 2008, I think it was, for she got $37,000 because from Stanford High School because of racial attacks. And so for her to sit there and say, I don't believe in racism, when she literally got paid because she was a victim of racial attacks, is fucking insane. That is the height of hypocrisy. And to just pretend that all of a sudden it doesn't exist like years later, it's because you sold your soul to get money off of this white supremacy machine. And she has never said anything about that. And every time I see her now, that's all I think about is her just getting on this money trip from these white folks when she knows that racism exists and that she was a victim of it.
Here's the quote.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Here's the quote.
Tell him.
Yes, directly from her Twitter. Juneteenth is still ghetto and made up. Hope everyone enjoys it. Retweeted 1 billion times and shit.
Oh boy.
I'm looking at some of the comments and it's like, wow, if you want to say that racism still exists in America, like, yeah, just go to the comments because there's there's a bunch of people that agree.
Of course, sir.
And you got people spitting facts, like letting them know, like, hey, yo, this is exactly what Juneteenth is.
So, I mean, to me, which is very interesting to me about the situation, is that Galveston, Texas, has been celebrating this before the rest of the fucking nation.
Yep.
Like they had celebrations yearly for literally 3 decades about Juneteenth, and the rest of the country just caught up in 2020, and now people are lambasting it, saying that this is just some kind of excuse and this is just another day for quote. I'm using air quotes, quote unquote them. Like, if you really want to see, to me, Twitter is probably one of the most racist social media spots ever. I mean, literally, if you just hashtag the N-word, you'll see you'll see 2 different sides. You'll see porn, and then you'll see just racist, like Trump supporting tweets. That's all you see. That's all you're gonna see. You'll see porn.
Like,
it's literally 50-50 porn and like racist tweets.
I like what one person commented saying, all holidays are made up, bozo.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. All words are made up.
New Year's, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, Halloween.
So I'm pretty sure, I can bet you if you scroll through, you'll see that someone saw that someone probably claimed that her family was the house Negroes of the plantation. That's probably why she acts the way she does.
I wonder what her parents think, though. I mean, like, because obviously, like, her parents helped her with the lawsuit. So I really wonder what her family is like. I wonder if she's even allowed to attend a picnic.
I wonder if her parents are just like her.
I doubt it if they sued for racial discrimination.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Somebody,
sometimes, as they say,
somebody,
once you get white people money, that can change you.
Yeah, I guess.
somebody in the comments called her Clandis. Like clan. That's fucking great.
But
You
yeah,
really love being a sellout, huh? Somebody, oh wow, some of these comments are really like going after her.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they do.
it was
Yeah,
a whole thing on that day because she comes out swinging. Here's the other thing too. I mean, obviously she loves the attention. She gets, like Kronos mentioned, she benefits off of it financially, and she's
100%.
honest about that, and that's what it really is. But she didn't stop the celebration. She didn't stop people from having a good time and remembering the history, which is what's really important that day. And yeah, it is what it is. Every year, it's going to be around. So get used to it.
Hey, I want to mention something that I'm fucking hoping is decent. Oh my fucking god. They had the Tadum stuff on Netflix. I don't know, Saturday, Friday, all the days blend together. One of those days this past week. Holy fuck, I know I'm fucking biased, man, but they put some money into this One Piece live action. Now I'm
Oh, here we
I'm the
go.
first
No
one.
one gives a fuck, man.
I'm the first one to fucking admit. I have said on this fucking podcast for 7, 8, 50, 11 goddamn years, there's no such thing as a good live action adaptation. I'm sticking to that until something proves me wrong. I hope this is. I got my fucking fingers crossed. But so far, all of them have sucked. So you have to temper your fucking expectations, And we'll see. They also did the Avatar one, but what y'all think?
Yeah.
It didn't look bad. I'd say that it didn't look bad, overtly bad. Like it was, I don't- the animation looked better than the actual show. I'll tell you that.
There you
Man.
Well, Cowboy Bebop was
Oh,
pretty
oh.
decent on Netflix.
Actually, I thought it was too, but people hated it. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was
they
gonna finish
did.
it.
that got
Yeah,
fucked.
I haven't started it, but you know what? I came to a revelation. I found out that the people that like One Piece are the same people that watch Teen Titans Go, and it makes so much sense.
Yeah,
It
makes
makes
sense.
so much fucking sense. I was like, no wonder I fucking hate this show. And I tried watching One Piece. I watched like maybe 3 episodes. I wanted to break everything in my house, and I'm like, no, I can't. I can't fucking watch
Did
this.
I'm an anomaly to yours. I love Teen Titans Go, but actually I've never seen One Piece, so I can't really say if I like it or not.
Oh, here you go.
So
Once
I've
you
seen
start
I've
on
seen
that train.
I've seen a couple of episodes. I have seen a couple of episodes, and I was like, that's a commitment right there.
Well, the thing is,
watch all
the
this.
problem with the commitment is that the original like animation is not good. I know it gets better over time, but the original one is not good.
To me, it wasn't the animation. It was
It's
the fucking
relative
story.
to anime though. Like this is 97.
Yeah,
It
but I
is-
mean,
It's trash. Trash is trash.
there was other.
Nah.
I mean, Ninja Scroll was out in like the '90s, man.
Oh,
So,
for sure. 99. Oh, I got something for y'all. I'm
Mm.
gonna let y'all finish, but keep going.
there's a bunch of like really good animated shows and movies from back then that were way better animation than One Piece. So there's really no excuse for anybody
Shit.
there. I mean, when the fuck did Naruto start? I mean,
That was 03, 04,
was it?
right?
I mean, yeah, that's not the greatest animated one, but I mean, it's good. Even fucking
Cowboy-
Macross was goddamn better than
Yes, it was. Macross. Shit, fucking.
Tenchi
So,
Muyo. Fucking
I
Cowboy
can't stand-
Bebop came out in 1998.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I would
Trigon
say-
came out in 98 as well.
I will say so. The show that me and Cake Man, we're the only two I think that like the show, and they made a live action of this one actually too. Crying Freeman, that had really good
I
animation.
remember watching that from like a long time ago.
Long time
It was
ago.
like a
I
black
watched
character,
all
right?
of it. I think so, but like Crying Freeman, like watching the anime, that was a rated R fucking because there's sex and blood and shit, and the live action had Mark the Castos in that shit. Like I was like, oh shit. So that shit was.
Yeah.
I thought that was probably one of the better adaptations that people forgot about.
Oh, you
When you said
talking about the live
say-
action?
Live action. I saw the anime first and then watched the live action.
I heard
Okay.
Kenshin was good as like a live action. I haven't watched it yet though.
Oh, I haven't watched the live action.
the Japanese one,
Yeah.
yeah,
They're
and
bringing
I
it back,
watched
too.
I watched the second one. For some reason, like the second one is available on Amazon Prime, but like I couldn't find the first or the third one. There's
Hmm.
there's three of them.
Wow.
But the one I watched was really good.
I didn't realize they made 3 or 4 Full Metal Alchemist live action. They made Bleach live action, and
Yeah, the Bleach one was. I thought the Bleach one was. I also thought the Death Note one was decent too. Not the Netflix one. The Netflix one was boo boo shit garbage. But the Japanese adaptation of it I thought was good. But then again I saw that before I saw the actual Notebook, the Death Note.
oh yeah, Death Note was great. I loved it. We will see. This one has a big budget. It. We'll see. I mean, I'm hopeful.
I'm whatever. It's gonna be like the Flash to me. It's gonna be mid.
You know what's funny now that I do not find ironic at all is how Netflix is all of a sudden transitioning from like American-made shows to like Japanese adaptations and Korean shows and all this. It's almost like there was like a writer strike in America or some shit.
Damn.
That truth.
Yeah, they need that content.
Yeah, and also, I mean, again, one of the highest rated shows internationally they've ever had was Squid Games. You know what I mean? That shit was a mega fucking hit.
Yes, it was. I got to talk to y'all about something now.
What you got?
So this kind of is a springboard up what Cronus just brought up, but someone pointed out on Twitter, they're like, "Hey, name your top 5 movies of 1999." And I'm thinking like, oh, there can only be a handful. And then all of a sudden, I see the list of movies, and I'm like,
came out.
yeah. So outside of like the big, obviously some of the big ones, there's some big fucking movies that came out that people still talk about to this day that came out in that year. Like that year had nothing but pretty much bangers. That entire fucking year. It was ridiculous.
Oh shit, yeah.
I remember that vividly.
Just to take out some of the big ones, the big obvious ones like The Matrix and Star Wars, like we had shit like Fight Club came out that year. We had The Mummy. I remember that came out before Star Wars and it still made its money beforehand. That gave us 4 sequels, like The Mummy with Brandon Fraser. The Green Mile came out that year. American Pie came out that summer. And just it kept coming and coming. There's so many movies that came out. It was ridiculous.
What American Beauty that year?
American Beauty was that year. I think that same month that American Pie came out.
Toy Story 2 came out too.
Toy Story 2 came out that year. Office Space, which is still talked about and revered this year. The Iron Giant.
Yeah.
Iron Giant was another sleeper hit. The Green Mile, Oscar contender. Big ups to Michael Clark Duncan, who got like an Oscar nomination.
The Sixth Sense.
The Sixth Sense was another big one. Eyes Wide Shut, the big Kubrick like film that Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise spent like a decade making. Like there's a shit ton of fucking movies. Even on the indie side, I don't know if any of you saw Being John Malkovich.
Oh, fuck.
That movie was fucking. I didn't know what to expect going in because no one could explain it to me. When I watched it, I was blown away because it was so good. It was so ridiculously funny, but it was also very insightful. It was really well made. Oh, another movie that that I know that everyone kept talking about when it came out was Three Kings.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, with Ice Cube, George Clooney, and Spike Jonze. And Spike Jonze directed to Being John Malkovich. Like it just kept coming.
Boondock Saints came out too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What they year?
I remember Big Daddy came out. Jesus, yeah, just
Yeah,
it's 99. Yeah.
99.
I think there was a bunch of good movies because like they were like the world's gonna end in 2000. So
yeah,
that was the real thing. Y2K was the real thing.
It was a real thing. A movie that was like, I guess, kind of mid, but it's definitely a cult classic because I've seen it multiple times. It was Deep Blue Sea. I actually got a shirt.
Bro.
I saw it for free.
The Blair Witch Project came out that year too.
Yes, it did. It came out that fall. It came out that spring. That was the huge sleeper hit.
Yeah.
But all of that shit came out in 99. So this guy, he brought this shit up, and all these people listening to these movies, it blew me away. I'm like, holy shit. I've seen almost each and every one of these movies, and that was all in that fucking year. These were movies. Most of these movies are still talked about today. Go ahead.
Real quick on the Blair Witch. Remember, this shit was shot for like, I don't even think it was a couple $1 million. Like,
no.
If it was $100,000, I'd be surprised.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure the budget was like 10,000.
Exactly. Look at the fucking budget for the first Blair Witch, man. That shit was microscopic. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember what the exact dollars were, but all of it was
60
profit.
grand. It was
See,
in
there you
between
go.
35 and 60 grand,
There you go.
and it finished the box office at $248 million.
God dang. Just doing the numbers on that. The
Yeah.
percentage increase on that is astronomical.
I know this is
Dude,
gonna
with
hurt
the Blair,
people. I know this is gonna hurt people's fucking brains, but that's more profitable than Star Wars.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
by a wide
It
margin.
really is.
what's crazy with the Blair Witch is that the way they sold it to make it seem like it was a real fucking thing.
Yeah, it was a
That
mockumentary. It was a mockumentary. That was like one of the. It wasn't the first, to be honest, but it was the most successful. 100%.
Shit. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was like the first. It was the first like big box office of its kind. Like no other
Mhm.
movie was like that. That was in like an actual big movie theater.
Mhm.
It was amazing for what it was.
Oh
sure.
yeah.
For sure.
Another movie. Oh, another movie that came out that year, which everyone was all about because they kept comparing it, was Cruel Intentions.
Oh
No.
yeah,
Yeah,
Cool
that
Intentions was my motherfucking shit.
that
That
kiss
shit.
between Selma Blair and what's her name?
yes,
Sarah
Selma
Sarah Michelle
Blair,
Gellar.
Sarah Michelle
Yeah,
Gellar,
this fucking
Ryan
spittle.
Felipe. Yeah, that movie was just like everyone was all about that fucking movie. Like,
Buffy had a line in that movie where she was just like, "Hey, if you do such and such, I'll let you put it anywhere." That
yes,
shit had me in 1999 hard
and
fucking rock. I was like,
and it wasn't just that; it was the fact that after she said it, she got on her knees and threw that ass back. I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?"
I used
Wow.
you know what's crazy
to
is that
rewind. Yes.
the character in that movie, the brother or the stepbrother or the what's the name
Ryan
character?
Ryan Philippe.
Yeah.
Yeah, his character name was Sebastian.
Yeah. That's
Oh, Reese Witherspoon's in that movie. That's the one where Ryan Philippe and Reese got married
yep.
after that movie.
Hmm.
Another one that like the big I guess romantic comedy, but I saw this was 10 Things I Hate About You, which is actually a Shakespearean adaptation. That was a pretty big hit too, but everyone that was one of those Heath Ledger starring movies before
I
he
didn't.
was a sucker.
I didn't hate it. It was actually
Yeah,
kind
I didn't either. And then the one that put Angelina Jolie on the map again was Girl Interrupted. That came out that year. She won an Oscar, I think, that year for that.
Is that the one where she was kissing her brother or kissing
She-
Billy Bob?
She was
Blood.
crazy.
Not,
No one
not in the film, but she did do that those years. But that's the one where it was basically her versus Whoopi Goldberg in that movie with Winona. Even though Winona Ryder was the star, Angelina stole that fucking movie.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to explain this to anybody who wasn't like a teenager or in their early 20s at that time. But Angelina Jolie was fucking everywhere and was viewed as one of the hottest bad girls you could ever fucking get.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it was
since Hackers.
Oh
I
my
was
god!
like, yes, ma'am.
Yes, man. Oh,
Dude,
after Hackers, I saw Gia and I was done. I was
Dude,
done.
the,
Oh my god!
the one that got me with her, all of those movies were good too. But she was even hot and Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh,
Oh yeah, 100%. With the blonde hair. So guess what?
Beowulf came out in 1998.
That version of Beowulf. But check it out. Guess what came out in '99, which was a huge hit. It came out before Star Wars made their money. It was South Park, bigger, longer, uncut. That was a huge hit when that came out. Austin Powers Part 2 came out that same year. Like, that was a shit ton of huge fucking movies. I mean, The Bone Collector came out that year. That was actually pretty good. Sleepy Hollow, which I really liked. Just banger after banger, pretty much after that year.
Could you imagine if you can go in a time machine right now, with the knowledge that you have right now, to 1999? Oh man, like how much better off your life would be. You know what I mean? Actually, no, it'd be hard. This is the problem with going back in time. Is like when you go back in time, it's like you would try to like not make the same mistakes, but there are certain mistakes that you'd probably have to make to get it to like where you still, especially like when you have kids. That's where especially it's important to like make sure you still had the kids with the person that you love. you know,
Mm.
or
Yep.
just having kids that you love, with maybe not the person that you had them with, but yeah, it's like I want to do a lot of things differently, but also I love my kids, so yeah.
Yeah. Looks like there's a lot of shitty movies too that I completely forgot about. But one movie, it didn't do that well, but I love this movie. I've seen it multiple times. It's fucking hilarious every time I watch it. Is Mystery Men, which I didn't know was actual based off an actual it was based off of a graphic novel. That
Yes.
movie's fucking hilarious. It's
Yeah.
so good. It's so fucking funny. Ben Stiller
Fucking Ben
stole that
Stiller.
fucking movie, but it
Volcano
has
Man.
yeah, that movie's fucking hilarious.
Did he ever use his powers? I can't. I always have the
It,
feeling like he didn't have
it
powers
does.
at all. And just
He
he
uses his
just got
powers at
killed.
the end. No, he uses powers at the end because I guess he kicks into overdrive, but still, it's still pretty awesome.
All right. You guys basically ready to wrap it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh wow, the
I'm,
Green Mile came out in '99 too.
I
I
mean,
guess I
one of
remember that.
first three movies I mentioned. There's a shit ton that year. Shit ton.
All right. Old Ninja, since you still got sandwich nut on your face, what you got going?
I'm actually packing to go to San Diego tomorrow morning. Actually, in a few
Oh,
hours.
bro, you got a gun? What's going on here?
Oh yeah, I'm about to do my thing out there. Um, But yeah, I'm going to San Diego tomorrow morning. Heading down. We're driving down instead of flying, so I'll be there probably Thursday night. But
Okay.
I'm probably gonna watch like a show before, and I'm probably just gonna like pass out on the way. I did this to Cronus too. I told him I was gonna drive, and I fucking knocked the fuck out. Totally sorry, man.
Dude, I'm used to driving the whole way. I used to do it all the time.
Yeah,
So
so the night before, to give context, this is the last year we went to Comic Con, and I had been up all night. And Kronos had went to bed earlier before me, and I was still out in the streets. And by the time I got back out, I stayed up to pack and get ready. But then once we left Camp Pendleton, I knocked that fuck out. I was out. By the time I woke up, we were basically in San Jose.
yeah.
So that's probably going to happen again tomorrow, but I should be there. I'll probably link up with Prodigy and Kronos probably Friday night ish.
Who
I'm there until Monday.
who are you coming
so
down with?
I'm coming down with my uh, melanin deficient friend.
Okay. So
So
what are you down here for? Just like hang out?
we're hanging out. Yeah, actually, other friends from across the country. We're all meeting in San Diego.
Nice. Okay.
So we're gonna go and hang out, and so whoever makes it, it's basically whoever makes it makes it. So we're part of the people that are gonna make it. So there's gonna be like maybe two or three others, and we're just gonna hang out. One of us is going to Padres game on Friday night, so we're gonna be staying in the gas lamp as far as I know.
Nice.
We're just gonna be there just chilling for until like Monday morning. So
Okay.
I'll probably run it. I've been trying to link up with Cronus and Prodigy. I mean, we kind of tentatively picked Friday, but I'll have that whole weekend. So
Okay.
Good shit.
yeah, but so that's my whole thing for this weekend. I'll be out and about roaming around in pre San Diego, or pre Comic Con San Diego. There we go.
You're spilling pre-cum all over San Diego. What are you doing? What?
Oh, hold on. That was your request. Let me read the email. I'm pretty sure that's what you requested.
All right. Blue, what you got?
This weekend. I'm still on that job searching, so I've been applying for different jobs, trying to, kind of get that income coming back in. I might start doing TaskRabbit again, just to kind of subsidize some of the bills. But this weekend, we might go visit some friends. One of our close friends, they just had a baby, so we're gonna go visit them. Meet the new little one. I feel like there's something else happening this weekend. I can't think of what it is. This past Saturday. So for Father's Day, one of my friends, one of my groomsmen from a bachelor party, he wanted to do like a barbecue for Father's Day. Well, like he texted the group saying like, hey, if you guys want to come over for Father's Day, like come on over, we're doing a barbecue or not. But I didn't read the full text message because it said, you guys should come over on Saturday so we can celebrate Father's Day all together. And all I read was just barbecue and Father's Day. And I was like, okay, cool. So on Father's Day, one of the plans was to go over to his house. I was like, hey, man, should I bring anything? He's like, yeah, the barbecue was yesterday. It's like, oh, shit, really? So I missed out on that. But yeah, this weekend just hanging out with friends, going to see the new little baby. Little Bash is doing really well at potty training. Like he actually tells us when he has to go. He'll even start walking to the bathroom himself. He just got to get down the pooping thing. Like he's having a issue with pooping. But like for a while, we thought he was constipated, but eventually, like on Monday, he just was like, you know what, I'm gonna do what I gotta do in my diaper. So we put a diaper back on him so he can be more like relaxed because sitting on the potty and trying to poop that takes a lot of concentration and like I kind of felt like maybe we were pressuring him to go poop. So now we just kind of let him do his thing. But he had the hang of it. His sticker board is full, so he made it the full way. So he's learning. He haven't had that. He only had an accident today, but that's mainly because he fell out. He fell off his chair, and I think he was holding it, just lost it. So that's unfortunate. But oh, I'm gonna start watching not Secret Wars. The Invasion was released on Disney Plus today, so I'm definitely gonna check
Secret
that
Invasion.
out. Secret Invasion. Okay, so like, is it Secret Wars or is it Invasion? Like I can't remember exactly what the full fucking name
Secret
was.
Invasion, Secret Wars will be the movie, but I watched it last night. I watched it this morning. I should say.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. Oh, yeah, Kronos finally watched Extraordinary.
I just remembered.
I want to get his feedback on that, but I guess maybe next week.
Yeah.
Oh, Kronos, you didn't speak on Nintendo Direct or Nintendo Direct either.
They didn't. The main thing that they announced was like there's a new Super Mario game, Super Mario Brothers Wonder,
RPG?
which looks pretty good. Yeah, and RPG. That's a remake though. So.
Oh, there's two separate games. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they were both the same game.
No. It was a quick one. It was like a bunch of like really small games that none of us play, like Pikmin 4 and shit. So.
Oh yeah, I do not play Pikmin. Okay.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right, what you got, Kronos?
Real quick shout out to Cape and Cowl Comics. They're doing a Cape and Cowl Con on August 13th at Gilman Brewery in Berkeley. So if you are up in the Bay Area still, and you are a comic fan, definitely hit up Cape and Cowl Comics all the time, and go to their con. I'm glad that they're doing something like that. They give back to their community all the time, and I think it's really cool they're doing their own con. I wish that we were up there still, like all of us, to be there, but maybe I can work something out. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm gonna go.
I'm
gonna try to go.
Yeah, definitely go. If you guys can go, you are all Ninja. Both of you guys can go up there.
We'll see.
I think that's super cool. Shout out to Eton. Yeah, I did want to talk about Extraordinary. It was a great show, but I'll talk about it next week. I think that is all I got. Yeah, that's all I got.
I'll talk about it in more detail next week as well. But that Black Mirror, Joan is awful. Really,
fuck yeah, fuck yeah, that shit was awesome.
Comic-Con's coming up. Sorry, I forgot to talk about that. San Diego Comic-Con. Me and Project are gonna be there. So yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, Joan is awful. That shit fucked me up. Shout out to Selma Hayek. Still sexy. Still bad. 90s star. Still got all that body. Very much still playing Diablo and trying to fucking just squeeze time in for a whole bunch of stuff. I've been doing a whole lot of goddamn working and shit, but it's gonna be all good one way or another. And I still got my fucking fingers crossed for this live action One Piece. We'll see if it breaks the curse. I'm talking all kind of shit. And I just want you to hear me, if you want to create a season 2 of Interspecies Reviewers, I'd like to see some chocobos in there. Have some chocobos, fucking motherfucking, slime girls or something like that. Interspecies 2 reviewers, come holla at me. Hit me up in my DMs. Let's do it. That's all I got. Take us out, old ninja.
All right. Use your experience Black and Black Times Divinity. The Dankest podcast on the internet. Check us out anywhere with Beat and BTI. That's BTHANBTI anywhere and everywhere you listen to podcasts, except for I guess on YouTube we are Black and Black Times Divinity. Pretty easy to find us. Check out our official website, benheadproductions.com/BTI. We have a Discord. You can email us at beatandbti@gmail.com. Let us know you want to join or you want to be a part of the discussion. Things keep heating up in there. It's getting more dank and getting more crazy. Some great ideas, great discussions going on in there. Let us know if you want to be a part. Email us. And on Amazon, we have an app that lets you know when we go live. Download it. Then put it to use. There you go.
Don't choke on the chocobo nut.
One Piece